And a good evening from Brunswick Community College. It's day 2 of the Brunswick Holiday Classic, and it's game number 2 for the Brunswick Dolphins, coming in at 10-1 and 7-0 here at home as they take on Chattanooga State. The Tigers, a member of Region 7 and a Division I NJCAA team, coming in at 6-5. Today's broadcast brought to you by our friends at Oliver's. Oliver's on the Cape Fear. Beautiful, beautiful place to go eat some dinner. Thank them very much for their support of today's broadcast. Let's meet the starting lineups. First for Chattanooga State, coming in at 6-5, losing yesterday to Cape Fear 84-80. Head coach Jay Price, 226-95 in his 10th season. Starting number 3, Kalen Johnson. Number 10, A.J. Morris. Number 20, Elijah Gibson. Number 24, Malik Taylor. And number 32, Arab Abdi. Now for Brunswick, the Dolphins coming in at 10-1 and defeating Shooting for Greatness Prep yesterday 80-72. Head coach Walter Shaw in his 18th season. Starting number 2, Amari Wilson. Number 5, A.J. Baldwin. Number 10, Devin Hutchinson. Number 12, Jael Scott. And number 32, Najee Thomas. So that's the starters for both of these teams. Folks, we got the YouTube chat going, so feel free to give us a shout. Let us know where you're watching from. Love to hear from you during today's broadcast. Brunswick in the white, and the Tigers are in the blue and orange as the tip's controlled by the Dolphins. Devin Hutchinson takes it into the forecourt. So 8-point victory yesterday for Brunswick, and they started cold against Shooting for Greatness as Hutchinson misses the first shot of tonight's game. In transition, Taylor looking to get it to Long, and it's through his fingertips out of play. So a turnover and the ball goes back to Brunswick. Brunswick took control in the second half, though. They trailed by as many as 8 in the first half yesterday before gaining control back pretty early on in the second half. They went ahead. Zone defense for the Tigers. Hutchinson navigates. Here's Baldwin into the bucket. Can't get it to go, but he's fouled, and A.J. will go to the line. A.J. Baldwin dishing some dimes yesterday. Baldwin is 70% at the line on the season. And bricks the first one. First foul of the game, by the way, on Elijah Gibson for Chat State. So Baldwin unable to salvage the trip. Rebound controlled by Raekwon Long. So there was a change in the starting lineup. Abdi does not get the start. Long does. Everybody else looks the same, though, for Chat State. That's going to be off of Baldwin out of play, so the Tigers will inbound it with 17 to shoot right near us. A.J. Morris will inbound, one of 4 players averaging in double figures for the Tigers. Tigers, as I mentioned in the open, are a member of Region 7. They are a Division I team. Both teams starting out in the zone here today. Morris steps into a 3. It grazes the rim. That's it. Hutchinson with the rebound. Devin Hutchinson to Baldwin. Hutchinson was looking for it back. Baldwin gained control now, scoops it over, and they play hot potato with it. Devin Hutchinson did not play high school basketball. Talked to Walter Shaw before the game today about that. Wilson's turnaround shot is no good. And in transition, here come the Tigers. It's Morris, top of the key. Hutchinson, poor grades as a freshman. A new coach came in Charlotte, didn't want him. Can you believe that? Trying for the dunk was Long. He's fouled. So Raekwon will go to the line, 75% free throw shooter. So Hutchinson went to one of the prep schools that we talked about yesterday. So able to work on his skills. Walter Shaw found him, he said, in a tournament. And able to recruit him here to Brunswick. So one more free throw to come for Long. So A.J. Baldwin into the forecourt now. A couple of minutes into the ball game. Baldwin just 1 point on the board so far. Hutchinson on the left. Najee Thomas, the reverse. And they're going to get Brunswick on a foul. One team foul for Chattanooga State. And 2 now on Brunswick. Giles Scott picking up the foul. Brunswick will wrap the Holiday Classic against Bryan and Stratton tomorrow at 2 p.m. That'll end the semester. We will not broadcast that one. So come on out and check out some of the action. There's been some good games so far. It's Shooting for Greatness Prep, who we saw yesterday, went into overtime against Caldwell. Turnover and a 3-on-1. The alley-oop by Baldwin off the mark. He stays with it. Now he'll back it out and set up the offense for the Dolphins. A.J. averaging over 5 assists per game. Good ball movement here, although Thomas had trouble with that pass, and it's another steal for Malik Taylor. Look out, that was almost the backcourt. Kalen Johnson swings it over to Davis, open look, and the 3 is good. So Brunswick started poorly yesterday, shooting percentage-wise, and having trouble again here today. Jay Price's team again in the zone. Jay Price played 4 years at Tennessee back in the late 80s, early 90s, played professionally overseas and in places like Mexico and Saudi Arabia and Venezuela. Amazing opportunity to really experience a lot of cultures. As Baldwin was looking to draw the foul, just kind of threw it up, and it's a shot clock violation. So the zone right now for Chattanooga State working well against the Dolphins. Dolphins still undefeated at home, 7-0. Long turnaround left at a lane, no good, and that's going to be last touched by the Tigers. A.J. Baldwin across the timeline. He's guarded by Morris now. Tigers still in that zone, it looks like. Looks like a kind of a man's, maybe a 1-3-1 zone is what we're looking at. Hutchinson had it poked away, tried to gain control back, and another steal for Taylor, and then he's bumped. That will be team foul number 3 on the Tigers. 15:45 left to go here in this opening half, just underway. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you. Our second and final broadcast of the Classic here tonight for Brunswick. The Dolphins back in action tomorrow, then that's it until January. First sub of the game for Walter Shaw. It's going to be Daquan Lindsay to come into the game. So it will be the Tigers here to inbound it. Chattanooga State, beautiful part of the country over there in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I did a minor league basketball game there one year, and home crowd looking for a traveling call on Long instead of push. That's team foul number 4 on Brunswick already, just less than 4.5 minutes in. So 20 on the shot clock. Taylor will inbound. Long over Lockamy, can't get it to go, and now what? Another foul called on Brunswick. That's 5 already. I've seen now 4 games and 4.5 minutes of this one. There have been a lot of foul calls here in this tournament. Trying for the steal, coming up with it is Wilson, who throws it down. with the left-hand jam. And finally, Brunswick getting on the board here, 4-2. Morris driving in, and yet another foul on Lockamy. And they're going to say 2 shots now for A.J. Morris. 16 fouls on Brunswick, just 1 for Chattanooga State here in the early going. First free throw up and in for Morris, 79% free throw shooter. Chat State's very good at getting to the line, and they are, I lost my place in the notes, but they're up there among the leaders. They're 9th in Division I in shooting free throws at 74%. So Brunswick going to have to figure it out on defense without fouling, because you send the Tigers to the line and it could end up being a long night for you. Mike Melvin checking into the game. Also Khalil Daly out there with Lockamy, Hutchinson, and Wilson. That's the 5 right now. Lockamy from the baseline. Tip for the rebound. Hutchinson has the putback and tried to save it, but unable to make the play. So a defensive, let's put it kindly, defensive start to this one. 6-2, about 5.5 in. Kalen Johnson played well yesterday against Cape Fear. That game was an ugly game. Long, turnaround shot, no, and another foul on the Dolphins. That's team foul number 7, so it's the bonus for Chattanooga over the final 14-35. Raekwon Long, 75% free throw shooter. Chattanooga State was down by as many as 16 yesterday, came roaring back. Cape Fear came unglued, very undisciplined. They didn't like the game was being officiated the way it was, but it was being called tight on both sides. They came unglued and almost lost the game. Technical fouls, there were 2 of them at the end of the game on Cape Fear. But Tigers unable to mount a full comeback, losing yesterday 84-80. Melvin over to Wilson on the right side. Another sub, Myquan Gooding coming into the game for Brunswick. Lockamy swings it out, open look, Wilson, yes, on the 3. So if you're the Dolphins, you've kind of weathered the storm. You're only down by 3, 6 minutes in. You haven't played your best. Start hitting shots. And speaking of hitting shots, Kalen Johnson answers back with a triple of his own, but certainly no need to panic yet for Brunswick. But bad turnover there as it goes through Lockamy. Bounce pass by Gooding goes out of play. Another sub, this time for Jay Price. Number 5 is Jaquez Johnson. So Johnson into the game for the first time. There's Morris, top of the key. Jaquez now Long. Morris on the left, guarded by Melvin. Man defense. Long for 3. Can't get it to go. Nice rebound by Gooding. Gooding to the lane, now gets it out to Wilson. Good ball movement here. Daly falling down, able to keep the dribble, got it to Melvin. Still plenty of time on the shot clock here. It's at 14 right now. Gooding drawing the contact on Long. So Myquan will go to the line to shoot a couple. Myquan Gooding, 70% free throw shooter. Started his collegiate career in Texas at Navarro a couple seasons ago. Played just 14 games there. He's from Goldsboro, North Carolina, so coming home after sitting out a season. Walter Shaw finding him. A lot of transfers on Walter Shaw's team. Tevin Heath is a transfer as well. He didn't play at Anderson, though. 1 out of 2 at the line. 11-6 is your score. Near side, This is Jaquez Johnson over to Morris. Morris for three, got it to go. A.J. Morris, 46% from behind the arc on the season coming into the tournament. Melvin top of the key, Wilson on the left. Daly guarded by Jaquez Johnson. Melvin thought about it, 10 to shoot now for Brunswick. Melvin had trouble with the dribble, and he's going to be called for the offensive foul. That's 18 fouls on Brunswick, 2 on Chattanooga State. So a 1-and-1 here for Jaquez Johnson, who's 79% at the line. Just one player that sees regular minutes is below 70% at the line. That's Malik Taylor. I mentioned Chattanooga State in the top 10 shooting free throws in Division I. Front-ended 1-and-1 is good. So the Tigers pushing the lead out to 9 now. Jay Price, I mentioned his collegiate career playing at Tennessee and also his professional career. He's a local guy from Chattanooga, played high school ball in Chattanooga, so Price able to return home after his playing days were done, and 10 years into this Tigers team, he took the men and women to the national tournament. Great coach over there in Chattanooga. Into the forecourt, it's Morris. Here's Long. Swung over Jaquez Johnson, and he'll set up the offense. Johnson looks for a screen, got it to the half circle, short on the jumper. Lockamy corrals the rebound. Melvin to Gooding. Gooding takes it to the elbow, can't get it to go. Tip back up and in by Lockamy. Good hustle by Daquan to get the putback. And a much-needed bucket. Here's Morris again, rims it in. They have got to guard Morris. He's their second-best three-point shooter. Correction, their third best at 46%. Jaquez Johnson at 48%, and Elijah Gibson is at 50%. We have another foul called here, and this time it's on Chattanooga State, so 3 team fouls on them. I mentioned 8 already for Brunswick with 11:19 left to go. 11-point lead for the Tigers. Foul, by the way, was on Long. That's his first. He goes out, and Arab Abdi coming in. Wilson from the elbow. Can't get it to go. Rebound controlled by Davis. Here come the Tigers. Stepping into it. Heat check from Morris. Missed it long. Rebound by Melvin. Melvin had it poked away. Stays with it, though. Now Lockamy from the free throw stripe. Can't get it to go. Taylor has the rebound. Just inside 11 minutes to play here in this first half. And Chattanooga State leading by 11. Here's Davis to the bucket. Can't rim it in. Stays with it, though. Takes it to the corner. Now Taylor. Taylor over Lockamy. Somehow got it to go. That was not bad defense from Daquan. Just better offense. That ball deflected out of bounds. And they're going to say it was last touch by Brunswick, I believe. Josh Woodard, number 21, coming into the game. And also Xavier McCoy will come in after we take this timeout. 10:34 left to go. All Tigers here in the early going. Welcome back, everybody. Again, our thanks to Oliver's for sponsoring today's broadcast. oliversonthecapefear.org is their website if you want to check out. They got a lot of good food on their website. Oh boy, I might be going there after the game myself. Chris Schemick, glad to be back with you here at Brunswick. It's day 2 of the Brunswick Holiday Classic, and the Dolphins find themselves down 13 here. They are still perfect at home, 7-0 on the season. Gooding to the bucket, banks it off the glass and in. Myquan with his first 2 here, midway now, point of the first half. Thinking about it, then shooting it is Davis. It went halfway down, came back out. Roger Davis just 2 out of 4 from the charity strike, or from the 3-point line, coming into play here in this tournament. Gooding, the turnaround, can't get it to rim in. Davis with the rebound. Jaquez Johnson. Here's Davis using the baseline. Now Taylor drives on the baseline, swings it out. Jaquez had it deflected by Daly. So Daly out there with Melvin, also McCoy, Gooding, and Woodard, I believe. That's the 5 for Brunswick. For Chattanooga State, Jaden Rodriguez coming in for the first time. He wears number 1 out there with Jaquez Johnson, also Davis, Taylor, and Abdi. 6 on the shot clock. Abdi with the tip pass out, and the 3 is short by Rodriguez. Rebound controlled by McCoy. McCoy gets it back from Melvin. McCoy fakes the 3, steps inside the arc, can't get the jumper to go, and the rebound controlled by the Tigers. Davis. Jaquez Johnson now will set it up. Here's Taylor, right at the lane. Taylor had it poked away, and it's another steal for Brunswick. Out to Daly, and Daly able to get it to go. 21-12 now. Brunswick 5th in Division I with 13.8 steals per game. Couple already here today. Rodriguez to the bucket. Jaquez Johnson from way downtown. Brunswick will live with that shot. And it's a rebound for Woodward. So Woodard with the board. Gooding into the forecourt. Melvin. And away from the ball, we're going to get a foul called on Abdi. That will be team foul number 4. So it'll be Melvin to inbound it. And the shot clock set to 20. Woodard. Woodard over 2 defenders. Can't get it to go, but he draws the foul. So that's team foul number 5 on Chat State. Josh Woodard, 78% free throw shooter, goes to the line. Swishes in the first one. Brunswick also in the top 20 in scoring coming into this Holiday Classic at 96.6 points per ball game. That'll probably fall a little bit just because the competition's been good. 2 out of 2 at the line for Woodard, so 6-0 run for Brunswick as we go inside 8 minutes to play here in the first half. Jaquez Johnson, Gibson, Jaquez, and Jaquez lost it out of bounds. Stifling defense for Brunswick there. And the Dolphins get it back. Brunswick went 2-1 in last year's Holiday Classic. Wins against Wallace State, Delaware Tech. They lost against the team they'll see tomorrow, Bryant and Stratton. Woodard, couple of fakes. Too strong off the glass, and then they're going to get Gooding on a foul. That's team foul number 9 on Brunswick. And it is it's a defensive foul on a rebound, so there will be a 1-and-1 here, and it'll be taken by Jaden Rodriguez. Rodriguez hasn't spent much time at the line, but he's a perfect 4 out of 4. It's the front end, so he stays perfect on the year. That ends Brunswick's 6-0 run. Pushes the lead back to 8 now, a chance for 9 here for Jaden. And he gets it to go. So 23-14, 7:27 left to go here in this first half. Again, we'll take our normal halftime break. McCoy. Here's Melvin. Melvin getting a screen, drives to the bucket. Gooding top of the key, Gooding in, threw it awkwardly, and the rebound by Davis. Nice pass by Davis to Rodriguez, who got out in transition. Inside 7 minutes to go, 11-point lead now for the Tigers again after Brunswick cut it to single digits. Daly for 3, yes. Khalil Daly, 49% from behind the arc, getting that one to go. And now Jay Price directing traffic from the sidelines for Chattanooga State. Jaquez Johnson to the right, parries a triple. And the Tigers lead by 11 again. Walter Shaw now directing from his sideline. Coach Shaw, 18 years here at Brunswick, and an offensive foul is called on BCC. Walter Shaw averaging over 20 wins this season. 300-plus wins to his credit. And he sent a slew of players to 4-year schools. And that's probably, if you would ask him, what he's most proud of. Getting kids who want to go to 4-year colleges to 4-year colleges. Rodriguez, corner 3. Chat State is pouring it on by 14 now, their biggest lead of the night. Not everybody who plays JUCO ball wants to go to a 4-year school. Some people are just looking for their associates and they're on their way to their professional life. Want to play some basketball. A couple of years left in them. Woodard to the bucket, can't get it to go. Rebound controlled by Gibson. But most who are student athletes want that next step. They want to go to 4-year schools. Again, it's not for everybody, but it's certainly for, I would say, the majority. Rodriguez, same spot. Way different result, though. Woodard out in transition. That ball was kicked. No call. Steal by Taylor. Full court. Throw it down with the right-hand jam. It's Davis. Chattanooga State in control. Inside 5 minutes to go. 33-17. Melvin top of the key. Daly, and that's another kickball. Devin Hutchinson coming in. Tevin Heath, number 1 on your screen out there for the first time here tonight. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you. This is our final broadcast of 2017. We'll have a few more for you coming up in the new year. Let me wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and whatever you enjoy. Our next broadcast will be January 6th, by the way. Right back here at Brunswick. It's a 3 p.m. Saturday game. Couldn't tell you the opponent off the top of my head, but that's our next game. Another kickball with 5 on the shot clock as Hutchinson was looking to make the pass. So the shot clock reset to 20 on a dead ball, on either a kickball or a foul. The shot clock goes back to 20 now. That's a new rule in the men's game. Woodard, nifty footwork, just couldn't get the bucket. Heath tried for the reverse, no. Rebound control by Gibson. Elijah Gibson back out there pulling down the rebound. Jaquez Johnson Gets it to Davis in the corner. Here's Rodriguez for three. Davis trouble with the rebound, and they say he called timeout. So timeout on the court. We'll step aside with 3:55 left to go here in the half. Welcome back, everybody. There it is. There's our opponent coming up on January 6th. First Region 10 meeting between Brunswick and Wake Tech. We'll have that one for you January 6th at 3 p.m. Looking forward to it. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. Brunswick basketball brought to you by our friends at Oliver's Southport. It's all Chattanooga State, though, spoiling the Holiday Classic, at least right now, for Brunswick. Driving in was Johnson, swings it out, and Davis, correction, that was Taylor with another three. And this one is getting ugly, 36-17. Gore underneath Woodard. Defender came to help, but closing was Davis, who blocks it. Devin Hutchinson will inbound now. Hutchinson out there with Heath, also McCoy. Elijah Gore, number 3's come in, also Woodard. Returning for the Tigers is Kalen Johnson, replacing Jaquez. So he's out there with Gibson, also Rodriguez, and Davis and Taylor. Quick trigger, Gore around the rim, no, from downtown. And the rebound controlled again by Chattanooga State. Tigers taking on Caldwell Tech tomorrow at noon. Caldwell Tech went to overtime against Shooting for Greatness today. I believe they won that. Rodriguez from way downtown, nothing but nets. And this building is quiet. Hutchinson, let's see if he can get it going. Got his first three ball there. Sometimes when you're the leader and you see your team getting punched and punched and punched and knocked down, you got to start hitting back yourself. So let's see if Devin doesn't look for his shot a little bit more. Driving in was Gibson, poked away. Good defense, Elijah Gore, and then Gore is fouled. That will be team foul number 6 on Chattanooga State, 10 on Brunswick with 2:25 left to go. Some size coming in for the Tigers. They're going to bring back Raekwon Long. Also, A.J. Morris returns for Chattanooga. Wilson on the right wing. Guarded by Kalen Johnson. Swung over to Heath. Heath fakes the three, had it stripped. Woodard throws it off the defender, Rodriguez, who said Woodard was out of bounds first, but he's not going to win that argument. They never do. I know. I got my share of technicals when I played. But I never won them. They never said, oh, yeah, you're right. We were wrong. Never happened. Elijah Gore to the buckets, blocked, stayed with it. The putback blocked again, and Gore tried to keep the dribble, but here comes Morris. Numbers for the Tigers. The three, yes, again. Kalen Johnson. Usually it's raining triples for Brunswick, and Devin Hutchinson answering right back with a triple of his own. 42-23. Hutchinson trying to shoot to keep Brunswick alive here. Plenty of time in this one. We saw Brunswick come out sluggish yesterday and turn it around, but This is a different animal here, literally, in the Tigers. That ball thrown away. Here's Morris. Tip back for Kalen Johnson. Now Long, and Long shuffled his feet. Doug Collins always used to say, former Bulls, Wizards, Pistons, Sixers coach, Doug Collins used to always say, how you close the half says so much about your team, and if the Brunswick can make a run here, you can really get some of that momentum going into the locker room. Inside a minute to go. Hutchinson with 10. Let's see if the Tigers don't start to key in on him. Gore finds Wilson open look. Not bad offense there, just shots not falling. In transition, Rodriguez has to try to save it. Heath is there, good defense. 3-on-2. Here's Woodard. Oh, that's the night it's been for Brunswick. Hutchinson now, Wilson. Back to Devin. Devin for 3. Got it again. 9 points in the last 2 minutes for Devin Hutchinson, and the lead down to 16 now. So the Tigers will hold for the final shot of the half now. A.J. Morris with 5 seconds. Kalen Johnson over Rodriguez. Can't beat the buzzer. Shot was on point, just didn't get it to go. So all Chattanooga State at the end of 20 minutes, 42-26. Folks, we'll step aside for the half, come back in 15 minutes. Don't go too far. You're watching Brunswick Dolphins basketball here on YouTube. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. Start of the second half, and Chattanooga State in control here in the Brunswick Holiday Classic, 42-26. And the Tigers will have first crack at it. So, Tigers shooting bombs from downtown in that first half. It was Kalen Johnson, Jaquez Johnson, Morris. Really was everybody. Everybody was making threes in that first half for Chattanooga State. They were on fire. Let's see what the defense has in store for the second half here for Brunswick. Well, already they forced a turnover there. It looked like Long stepped out of bounds. So good defense at the outset here for Brunswick. The Dolphins, it looks like we've got the same starting lineup. A.J. Baldwin, number 5, Amari Wilson, number 2, number 10, Devin Hutchinson, number 12, Jael Scott, number 32, Najee Thomas. Good ball movement. Throw it down with the two-hand jam. Najee Thomas. Brunswick did show some signs. Devin Hutchinson hit 3 3-pointers late in that first half to kind of energize the team. It's got to come on this end, though. The revolution starts on defense, ladies and gentlemen. Morris dribbles in. Davis left of the lane, and they're going to get a foul on the floor, I believe, on Scott. So both teams with a team foul already here in the first minute of this second half. Again, today's broadcast being brought to you by our friends at Oliver's. Great restaurant. If you like beautiful waterway views, just lay back, look at the Cape Fear while you eat your steak or you're peel and eat shrimp or whatever you want. Oliver's is the place to go. Oliver's in Southport, by the way. I'm going to go check them out. Oliver's, I'm coming to see you sometime before our broadcasting year comes to an end. Another foul in transition on Brunswick. Not a bad foul, though, that time to stop the fast break. So the Tigers will inbound it here. Got to give a shout-out to Alex Moore, who's on the camera, too. We'll see him playing next year, we hope. Red shirt this year. A couple of red shirts for Walter Shaw have been alternating on the camera. Alex has been stuck with me here in the first 2 games of the Classic, though. That's another turnover as the pass was off the mark. Roger Davis tried to save it, couldn't do it. So here come the Dolphins trying to work themselves back in it. The defense has improved already here in the first 90 seconds or so of this second half. Scott thought about it. Hutchinson on the left. Hutchinson inside the arc. Can't get the jumper. Tipped for the rebound, and it comes to Scott. Swung back over to Hutchinson on the left wing. Baldwin. Ball deflected by Davis. Scott for 3. Can't get it to go. Thomas lost it trying for the putback. Here comes Chat State. Kalen Johnson now, top of the key. It's Taylor, open 3, no good. Long, the putback, rejected by Thomas. Najee Thomas, almost 2 blocks per game, getting his first here today. A.J. Baldwin out of control, saves it. Diving for it to Thomas for the two-hand jam. It wasn't pretty, but it worked. And Brunswick closes the gap down to 12 now. It's been as high as 19. Brunswick undefeated at home, and that's on Hutchinson. Team foul number 3 on Brunswick. The Dolphins are 7-0 here at home, 10-1 on the season. Their lone loss was back on the 11th of November, so it's been over a month since Brunswick has lost. Davis, top of the key, Long. Left side, Morris. Bounce pass to Taylor. Back to Morris. Deep 3, got it. As a team, Jay Price's team shooting 40% from behind the arc. Going to get a foul called. Thomas got the offensive rebound. I believe it's on Chattanooga. 17:03 left to go, just underway here in the second half. 3 team fouls for Brunswick and 2 on Chattanooga State. Brunswick tomorrow against Bryan and Stratton. That'll be at 2 p.m. No live stream for that one. We're done until the Wake Tech game on January 6th. Might be an issue with the shot clock. The official went over to the scoring table. And there's our friends at Oliver's. There's the address if you want to Google them. And you can also just go to their website. It's oliversonthecapefear.org. So they took 1 second off the shot clock. Those officials always precise. Devin Hutchinson is fouled shooting the 3, so he'll go to the line to take 3 free throws. Mention Alex. You might not know he's back. Alex, just put your hand in front of the camera and wave to the folks. There's Alex. There he is. I didn't make him up. Devin Hutchinson, 67% free throw shooter. Got the first one to go. So both teams with 3 team fouls here, 3 minutes into this second half. Hutchinson good on the second as well. And a perfect 3 out of 3 for Devin, the Radford commit. Unbelievable. No high school basketball, 1 year of prep ball, and comes here to Brunswick, and he's going to Radford next year. What an opportunity for that young man. Open look, Roger Davis, a rare miss from downtown for Chattanooga State. Brunswick trying to run and gun now. Here's Scott to the bucket, and it's a 10-point game. Timeout, Jay Price and Chattanooga State. Brunswick not going quietly here. They still trail by 10, though. We'll be back here in just a couple of moments. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you. 16:36 left to go, and Brunswick fighting back after trailing by 19 in the first half of this game. They've cut it down to 10. Chattanooga State now facing a full court press here out of the timeout. See if the Tigers, I don't think, they did make one sub. Looks like Kalen Johnson's back out there. He had a couple of long threes in the first half as well. Davis skies it to the far side for Morris from deep. Can't get it to go. Long with the rebound and hang on. I think we have a foul called here on Brunswick. Hutchinson picking up the foul. That's his 3rd. And Brunswick's 4th. So Chattanooga State, Kalen Johnson, top of the key to Morris. Morris, defender gambled, went for the steal, and he made him pay for it, burying it at the half circle. Lead back to 12. A.J. Baldwin out of control, no, and draws the foul on the second effort. So A.J. will go to the line. Baldwin, 70% free throw shooter. Brunswick was, if they can come back and win this, would go to 7-7 overall in the Brunswick Classic since 2013-14, which I believe was the first year. There might have been one other prior to that. Baldwin toes the line, and good on them both. Lead back to 10 now, 4 minutes into this second half. Both teams with 4 team fouls. Trapping pressure here, no trouble for the Tigers as Morris bounce passes it over to Davis. Davis to the bucket, too strong, and a late whistle. Another foul called. That's 5 now on Brunswick. Roger Davis at the line for 2. Short on the first. Davis, 72% free throw shooter. Lockamy coming in as Najee Thomas goes out after picking up his 3rd foul. One out of 2. The lead is 11 for the Tigers. Tigers have led for most of the evening. A.J. Baldwin, what a rocket. Wilson misses the short one. Turnaround shot, got it to go. So Chattanooga State down to single digits, its lead for the first time since late in the first half. There's Davis. Swings it over to Taylor. Now long double team. 10 to shoot for the Tigers, and now they call a foul on Brunswick. I'm telling you, if you breathe on a kid, it's a foul in this Holiday Classic. Walter Shaw can't believe it. What'd they call? Did they call an intentional foul? They called a technical foul on A.J. Baldwin. I'm telling you, these officials. This broadcast is brought to you by Oliver's, but the officials are brought to you by Kleenex. They are sensitive. They don't take anything. So 2 free throws that come here for A.J. Morris. There are certain things you can't say to the official, and I'm guessing A.J. Baldwin said it. Still, though, it's tough when you're a player and you've got a guy who's trapped. The shot clock is winding down, and then the whistle blows. It's frustrating. I get it. I'm not saying it's right, but A.J. Baldwin will go cool off now as Elijah Gore comes into the game. Gibson now. Here's Taylor. Over on the right side, Kalen Johnson cut off on the baseline. A good pass to Taylor. 9 to shoot. Taylor, floater in the lane, banks it in. So the lead is 13 now for the Tigers. Wilson over to Scott. Scott using the baseline out to Hutchinson. Hutchinson thought he was going to take it, but instead to Gore. Now Hutchinson between the circles. Here's Wilson. Gore, corner shot by Scott, missed it short, tipped for the rebound. It comes to Gibson for Chattanooga State. Scoop to Taylor from Johnson. Taylor to the bucket, no. Good defense in transition by Brunswick there. Now Elijah Gore pushing, but step back as he found out that the Tigers sprint back on defense too. Hutchinson now bounce past to Wilson. Lockamy blocked by Davis. Great defensive play by Davis. Tigers are a Well-disciplined team. Good ball movement, much like Brunswick, unselfish play, and that's the result. Kalen Johnson with another 3, so Brunswick cut it to 9, and since then, it's a 7-0 run for Chattanooga State. Wilson, Lockamy drawing contact, and Daquan will go to the line. Chattanooga State 6-5 on the year. They came into the Holiday Classic stumbling a bit. They had their lone win in December against Volunteer State back on the 1st, 77-76. They lost 3 of 4 coming into the tournament. Lost yesterday to Cape Fear, although they came storming back against the Sea Devils in that one. That's 17 fouls as well on Brunswick, so Chattanooga State is going to be in the bonus now over the final 13-24. 1 out of 2 for Lockamy, so the lead stays at 15. Taylor over to Jaquez Johnson. Taylor floats it up, no. Tip for the rebound. Lockamy comes up with it. Hutchinson's got numbers, takes it himself and lost the handle on it, but is bailed out on a reach by Jaquez Johnson. That's team foul number 6 on Chattanooga State. Devin hit 3 free throws earlier today, connecting on that one. So both teams in the bonus over the final 12:59 of this one. Sub for Brunswick as Khalil Daly, number 11, coming into the game. 1 out of 2 that time for Devin. Jaden Rodriguez, number 1, also returning for the Tigers. Rodriguez. Here's Kalen. In the corner, Davis fakes the 3 underneath. Gibson got it to go. The Tigers back by 16 now. Lockamy. Nice footwork by Daquan, and he got the bucket. Gibson. Kalen Johnson from near his bench. Not that time. Hutchinson, bounce pass over to Gore, rising and scoring for 3. Elijah Gore shoots 50% from the field, 56% from 3-point range, though. Driving in, Jaquez Johnson draws the foul, so 2 free throws to come. 18 fouls now on Brunswick. I haven't had dinner yet, and I'm looking at Oliver's menu. They got some nice-looking seared scallops on that plate. Telling you, right there, folks. Oliver's on the Cape. You come down here, go check out that place. Tell them I sent you. I'll probably be there at the bar with them scallops in my mouth. So both free throws are good. 59-46. Can I shill or what? Here is Daly driving on the baseline. Lockamy, it's poked away. And Gibson got shaken up for a moment. And it looks like he'll be able to walk it off. Chattanooga State gets the possession. Johnson to Johnson, Jaquez to Kalen. Kalen lost the dribble. Trying for it was Sadiq Johnson, who's come in for Cape Fear. Set the 5 here in just a moment. Sadiq with the foul, so 22 is Sadiq Johnson out there with Lockamy and Hutchinson. Also Elijah Gore and Khalil Daly. That's the 5 on the floor for the Dolphins. For the Tigers, it's Jaden Rodriguez, Kalen Johnson, Jaquez Johnson. Also Gibson, who's at the line. And Jaquez Johnson. So a smaller lineup, although Jay Price is going to bring in Raekwon Long here in just a moment. He was set to come in for the shooter, so he'll have to wait. Hutchinson. Khalil Daly. And that's going to be a kick ball. So shot clock back at 20, and now Raekwon Long does come back in for Chattanooga State. Hutchinson now, here's Gore. Johnson. Daly to Gore. Now Johnson for 3, got it to go. So Sadiq Johnson, who played at Averett University, a Division III 2 years ago, with the triple off the bench. Inside 11 minutes left to go, and every time Brunswick looks like they're going to make a run, Chattanooga State answers back. This time it's Rodriguez with the dagger. And now a turnover as the ball goes out of bounds. Here comes Tevin Heath for Brunswick. He'll replace Devin Hutchinson. Tigers facing this trap. No trouble with it. Rodriguez into the forecourt. This Tigers team is 164th out of 203 Division I teams in field goal attempts per game. They will sometimes work the clock, but here today they are playing very well offensively, and Sadiq Johnson out of control there, lost the dribble out of bounds. So it's been an easier road for Brunswick. This is their first real test at home, at least. They played a very good Lewisburg team on the road, their lone loss of the year. Bryan and Stratton is a pretty good team as well. That's who the Dolphins will see tomorrow. Nice reverse, Raekwon Long. And the lead grows to 16 now for the Tigers. Inside 10 minutes to go. And Elijah Gore has it top of the key. Sadiq Johnson steps into a 3. And he was way off. And now a frustration foul. Raekwon Long will go to the line and shoot the 1-and-1. No, correction, that's the 10th team foul, so it'll be 2 shots no matter what. Hi to Lakeisha, who's on Twitter, saying she's watching. I've seen you a few times, Lakeisha. Good to have you. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for tweeting at us. You can use the hashtag BCC Dolphins Flying. We've had a couple of good results for Brunswick so far in the broadcast, and I thought I was ready to give myself credit as a good luck charm, but I'm glad I didn't do that yet, because things have gone differently today. Chattanooga State, give them credit for the way they've come out today. Played an emotional game yesterday against Cape Fear. Heath to the bucket, right around the defense. Now, Brunswick's certainly not out of it yet, but they've got to get consistent stops. And the Tigers have to start missing some shots. They've been well contested. It's just been shots like that. I mean, the Tigers are on fire. 50% shooting team. And Brunswick with another turnover here. So 9:06 left to go. Jaquez Johnson. Here's Kalen. Kalen's hit him from that spot, so Wilson's not playing. Here's Rodriguez, corner three. That was partially blocked by Daly. Staying with it was Long. He was rejected by Lockamy. Good defense for Brunswick there. Heath. Gore. Wilson stripped. Good defense, Kalen Johnson. Rodriguez throws it ahead. Jaquez lays it up and in. And this matches the biggest lead of the day for Chattanooga State, 19-70-51 with 8:15 left to go. Khalil Daly, the hop step, got it to go. Now it's a turnover, a steal by Wilson. And Wilson gets the friendly roll. Back-to-back buckets by Brunswick. Johnson driving in. Here's Long, no problem, as he swishes in the 9-footer. Timeout by Chattanooga State. We will step aside with 7:38 left to go. Welcome back, everybody. I keep looking at that Oliver's menu online. I'm hungry. I didn't eat enough before I came here, and that was a mistake. I should have known Oliver's. They've got that great food as a sponsor today. I needed to come here full. I did not. 7:38 left to go. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you. Silliness, just plain silliness. So Brunswick has cut it to 9 in this second half, but the Tigers pushed it back to 19. Brunswick trying to make a run back now. A.J. Baldwin's back out there. He's got the basketball on the deflection, goes to the bucket. And now Walter Shaw wants to call a timeout, so we will go away again with 7:14 left to go. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you. We've got 7:14 left to go. Tigers with the basketball. Chattanooga State leading your Brunswick Dolphins by 15. Brunswick 7-0 at home, 10-1 on the season. They haven't lost in over a month. Tigers have them on the ropes here. For Chattanooga State, Jaquez Johnson, Morris, and Rodriguez with Long and Davis. And for the Sea Devils, it's Heath and Wilson, also A.J. Baldwin, Josh Woodard, and Daly. Long's been hitting them from that spot, and they get it to him there again. So the lead is 17 now for Chattanooga State. 74-57, A.J. Baldwin to Woodard. Swings it out. Heath for three, no good. Davis with the rebound. Davis will push here. Morris out near midcourt with it. Long back to Morris. And a reaching foul on Wilson, I believe. Lakeisha, when she tweeted at me, mentioned it's the 8th annual Brunswick Holiday Classic. Altershaw doing a great job with this event, getting some good teams in it this year. Even a prep school who you would think would come in here and be an easy victory for everybody. They have Shooting for Greatness prep put on a show. Chattanooga State fans will not see them in this Holiday Classic, but Brunswick saw them yesterday, had to come from behind, winning by 8 yesterday. 76-57. A few of the Tigers fans made the trip to Eastern North Carolina too. Heard them yesterday. A.J. Baldwin cleans it up, count it, and the foul. A.J. Baldwin getting that one to go, and a chance for an old school three-point play now for A.J. Baldwin, as I mentioned earlier, 70% at the line as we go just inside 6 minutes here in this opening, or in this final half. 76-60 is your score. Into the forecourt, the Tigers catch and shoot from Rodriguez. Not that time. Baldwin with the rebound. Wilson, Woodard, and a turnover. Ball deflected. Rodriguez comes up with it, and that'll be a foul on A.J. Baldwin. So more free throws to come. Both teams are in the bonus. Brunswick's in the 1-1. Chattanooga is in the double bonus here tonight. And there's a wet spot on the court. That's what's kind of holding us up here for just a moment. Well, folks, once again, we are off for the holidays. Our next broadcast is coming up on January 6th. It will be Brunswick taking on Wake Tech. So Saturday game, it'll be at 3 p.m. Now we go back down the other side of the court here, and we will have free throws for Chattanooga State. It's Rodriguez, who is still perfect on the season, I believe. 6 out of 6. He came in 4 out of 4, hit a couple in the first half, and got that one to go. It's the end of the semester for both of these teams, so they will wrap up play here in this Holiday Classic, and then it's time for some family time for everybody involved. In transition, I think Jaquez Johnson threw that off the glass on purpose. He was going to try for a highlight reel play, but did not work out. Still, Chattanooga stays with it here, nearing 5 minutes to go in this opening half. And the big man who is doing big things here tonight, Raekwon Long, with 2 more. Chattanooga State, again, matching its biggest lead of the night, 79-60. Devin Hutchinson back out there. He buries his 4th three-pointer of the night. So Hutchinson connects. Tigers in no particular hurry, up by 16 inside 5 minutes. Jaquez Johnson guarded by Scott. So Scott, Hutchinson back out there with Wilson, Melvin, and Woodard. Shot clock winding down. Are you kidding me? Morris. What a shot. A.J. Morris, his 3rd three-pointer, I believe. He might have more than that. Hutchinson tried to answer. And it's looking like this one's in the bag for the Tigers. The late old broadcaster for the Los Angeles Lakers, Chick Hearn, used to say the butter's in the fridge and the door's about to be shut. Nobody knows what that means, but doesn't it sound great when you hear it? Three-pointer and air ball by A.J. Morris. Chick Hearn, by the way, is the inventor of words like slam dunk, air ball, three-pointer, triple-double. All of those were first off the mouth of Chick Hearn. So every broadcaster that does this for a living is ripping off Chick Hearn in some way. Slam dunk, alley-oop. Those are other ones that he invented as well. That ball's going to be kicked off Chattanooga State, out of bounds. .307 left to go. So for Chattanooga State, the Tigers will wrap up the Holiday Classic with a chance to go 2-1 here in Eastern North Carolina. With a win against Caldwell. They'll take on Caldwell tomorrow at noon. That's it until January for the Tigers. For Brunswick, they take on Bryant and Stratton tomorrow at 2 p.m. That's it until January for them. I think they have a game before our next broadcast against a prep school, and then we'll have them against Wake Tech in the first weekend of January. A foul by Jael Scott. So more free throws to come. Again, both teams in the bonus here. And Brunswick's in the 1-1. Chattanooga is in the double bonus. First free throw, nothing but net. So Chattanooga State now with its biggest lead at 20. 2:50 left to go, make it 21. So Brunswick's perfect home record will come to an end here tonight. Nothing wrong with 7-1 though. McCoy for 3, no good. Rebound controlled by, I believe that's Damon Johnson, number 30, who's in for the Tigers. Jaquez Johnson out to near midcourt, guarded by Hutchinson. And again, Jay Price's team, no particular hurry. Here's a 3 by Damon. Can't get it to go. Damon Johnson, 33% from behind the arc on the season. Woodard way off. Highlight play by Melvin, though, as he flips it up and in. Inside 2 minutes now. Jaquez Johnson over on the far side, guarded by Melvin. Here's Damon Johnson. Entry pass deflected. Damon stays with it, steps to the left, fires it, and hits. His first points of the night. 86-65 in favor of Chattanooga State. A foul is called here. Going to the bucket was Scott, so Jael will go to the line to shoot a couple of free throws. 1:31 left to go here in this one, and Chattanooga State, for the most part, has led wire to wire. Alex, did Brunswick have the lead at all? I'm trying to remember. I don't believe so. Yeah, it was 4-0 in favor of Chattanooga at the beginning. You're right. So a rough one here tonight for Brunswick, but they can hold their heads high. They've played well in the first half of this 2017-2018 season. You get a turnover there. So Brunswick will get it back with 1:28 left to go. 86-66. Brunswick's only loss before today against Lewisburg, that was a 16-point defeat. So things shape up or hold the way that they're looking here tonight, then this would be their worst loss of the year, and they're only their second. And folks, we'll be signing off fairly quickly afterwards, as that three-pointer is up and good from McCoy. Good defense. Hutchinson not quitting on the game. Melvin will take it himself. Count it and the foul. Some consolation points for Brunswick here with 46 seconds left to go. So Chattanooga State will go to 7-5 on the season. Again, they take on Caldwell Tech tomorrow at noon. No live stream tomorrow. Brunswick, come on out, enjoy the classic. They'll take on Bryan and Stratton after that Caldwell Tech and Chat State game. So 72-86 now, the correct score updated on your screen there in favor of Chattanooga State. Chattanooga State, the sportsmanlike running of the clock here over the last 4 or 5 minutes in this one. Now it's a steal by Woodard. Woodard to the bucket, can't get it to go. Hutchinson trying to scoop it up, no, and another foul. I'm not sure why, but Arab Abdi commits the foul with 10.5 seconds, so back at the line. Yeah, the refs are consistent. So Devin Hutchinson, who's made 4 of 5 here today. Good on that one. So Brunswick has cut it to 12. And now the Tigers will run out the clock here. So the Tigers winning 86-74 over Brunswick. Again, our next broadcast coming up January 6th. It's Brunswick hosting Wake Tech, and that will be the first Region 10 game of the season for Brunswick. That'll come up again January 6th at 3 p.m. Folks, I want to thank you so much for checking out the broadcast here today and in the first half of the season. Looking forward to doing it again for you in 2018. Enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your holiday, and have a happy new year. And we'll talk to you again in January. Take care.